I mentioned Adrian Neville. I have to talk about this. It was PW Insider, Mike Johnson, who first had... It was a very small note in a news update earlier in the week that Adrian Neville... And I've heard rumors about this for a while, that Neville was probably going to be the next one after the Ascension called up. He also has been kind of just existing in developmental for so long that his call-up is overdue. And they were batting around potential gimmick ideas for him, because everybody's got to have a gimmick when they get called up. And, I guess he's small, he's got big floppy ears, so we have to come up with a character for him. And all Mike Johnson said was it was going to be Mighty Mouse-esque. He didn't actually say they were going to put Adrian Neville in a fucking Mighty Mouse costume, which I think is what most people ran with. That's not how I read it. That's not how it was written. Mighty Mouse-esque. The question is, what does that mean? That can mean any number of things. The old Mighty Mouse character, he was small but strong. He can fucking lift heavy shit, even though he was tiny. So if it's a gimmick where he is small but powerful, that's not the worst idea in the world. If, however, the idea is for him to have a fucking cape and be dressed like a superhero, and they really just get too corny with it, or it's meant for comedy, that would not be good. That would not be good at all. And I assume this is the direction they're going in, because in the Observer newsletter this week, Dave Meltzer had a very similar note. I guess he must have heard the same thing, that whatever they're going for something that is based on Mighty Mouse. They're talking about maybe putting a mask on him. Now, I'm not going to judge this until I see it. We haven't even seen the vignettes with this guy first. Right now, all of this, it sounds like, is in the discussion stages. They're trying to come up with ideas. I would hope and I would think that Neville is involved in some way in the process here. Maybe they're getting his input on this. The idea of putting a mask on Adrian Neville is not something that excites me. I don't know why you would do that. I look at a guy like Adrian Neville. I think there's some appeal there. I don't think he's a bad-looking dude. I mean, yeah, he's got the big ears and all that, but, when he's out there doing his thing, the guy is chiseled. He's small, but he's chiseled. He's jacked. He's got a good look. I don't know why you would want to put a mask on him. The one benefit that there might be to that, his ears are very big. And when I watched a replay of the last TakeOver show, because I wanted somebody who's a casual fan to watch that main event, and they loved it. But he and his wife made the same comment when they looked at him. They go, man, his ears are big. And unfortunately, whether you and I like it or not, when Neville does come up to that main roster, and he is in front of a more casual audience, people are going to look at him, and they're going to make judgments. Like, hey, this guy's small, or hey, this guy's got big floppy ears. So the idea of putting a mask on him that would push the ears back, you wouldn't notice his ears. Actually, you might. I guess it depends on the kind of mask it is. Your ears could poke through. That might not be the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't put a mask on the guy. He's not an ugly dude, I don't think. So why would you put a mask on him? It's like all those years that Alberto Del Rio wore a mask in Mexico, and then the mask came off, and it was like a whole other person. This guy, he had the wink that he would do, and all of his facial expressions. It was awesome. That was one of the best things about the Del Rio character. Look at Sami Zayn. How many years that he wore a mask, or... as legend would have it, some guy named El Generico, who looked an awful lot like Sami Zayn, used to wear a mask, and they took the mask off of him, pissed everybody off. Oh, here we go, WWE, they're taking the mask off, they're taking his character away from him. Well, guess what? It worked out so much better for him, because he's another guy who tells stories with his face, and as a talker, and El Generico I don't think would ever talk. Again, if rumors are to be believed, El Generico, Sami Zayn, they could be one and the same. I don't know. Last I heard, El Generico went off to go work with kids at an orphanage or something. But, he didn't talk. Sami Zayn, one of the best features about his character, besides his wrestling, is his talking. I think Sami Zayn, what I love about his talking, even if it's scripted, and I don't know if it is, I don't know how much is scripted in NXT. We haven't seen him on the main roster yet, where fucking everything is scripted. But you have to think some of it is, and when I hear a Sami Zayn promo, for the most part, it doesn't sound rehearsed and scripted and fake and phony to me. So if he is reading stuff, he's doing it in a way where you would never know. It just sounds natural coming from him. I think that's one of the strong things about his promos when I listen to him. Not everybody can do that. Adrian Neville was out there last week on NXT cutting a promo on Kevin Owens, and it was not a great promo. It sounded at points like he was saying stuff that he would never say. It just kind of sounded forced and phony to me. I think that's one of the strong suits about Sami Zayn, and I'm getting off point here, but the point is, he wore a mask, they took the mask off of him, and it's done wonders for his career. I think putting a mask on Neville, I don't know that will do him any favors, except maybe on the ear thing for the casual audience, but who knows? I'm going to keep an open mind. We don't know anything about what the character is actually going to look like yet, so how can we sit here and bash it and judge it? But I will admit, that's two different sources now, throwing the Mighty Mouse name out there. That has me very leery. I'm somewhat worried, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting and keeping an open mind to see exactly what the character may look like. But I'm like a lot of you guys. Some guys may benefit from having a character. There may be guys in NXT who really aren't that good, and having a gimmick or a character may actually they may be better off for it. When I look at the core group of guys down there, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, and Neville, these are guys that don't need a fucking character. They don't need a fucking gimmick. They're good on their own. Here's what I find funny about the whole thing, and then we'll move on. And I said this on Twitter. What I find funny about this whole thing, that they're even going through the hassle. What character, what gimmick can we come up with for this guy? Whatever that final gimmick is, Mighty Mouse or not, okay? Make him fucking Swamp Thing, whatever it is. I find it funny that the one time Adrian Neville appeared on Monday Night Raw was in that tag team match. Okay, it was him and Sami Zayn against Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd before one of the other TakeOver specials. They did a tag team match, and the crowd was kind of quiet as the match went on, largely because I think of Zayn and Neville. The crowd woke up. The crowd really woke up when Neville got in the ring. And he was flying around all over the place, doing all these kicks, and he was moving a mile a minute. And the fans started to come alive, and then he climbed to the top rope and he hit the red arrow, which to me is still, at least in WWE, is the most spectacular finish of any wrestler anywhere in WWE. It's a beautiful thing to watch. I don't know how he does it, but it looks amazing. And everybody reacted to it. Even people who did not know Adrian Neville from a fucking stranger on the street, when they saw that, you saw people in the first 4 rows with their mouths open, like, holy shit, that was incredible. This guy can get over on his own just based on his work. And that's what I find so funny about the whole thing. He was already on Raw one time, and guess what? He got over, not because he had a character, or a fucking cape, or a fucking mask, or he was a mouse out there with a piece of cheese. He was out there wrestling, doing the red arrow, and everybody was just floored. This guy, he won that crowd over in just a few short minutes. And there was no fancy gimmick. So it just goes to show you that sometimes you overthink things too much. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. But I am going to keep an open mind. We'll see what the character looks like. Am I worried? Yes, but let's not jump off any rooftops, okay? Let's just wait and see what they have in mind, and then we can judge it. Then we can bash it or praise it or what have you. I don't want to do that until I know exactly what this character is.